joining in. Let me make sure I have this camera set up good so y'all can see. All right, so in this live, I'm just going to show you basically how I lay out the limeline tape right here. Two different sizes, 1/8 inch and 1/16 inch. Let me turn this off here. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're gonna take this and tape this fender out to match up to what I have going on this tank right here. So I'll kind of just go over the stages that I have here, what I've done. So this has all been flaked with the limeline flake, and you can follow the directions here. So it's all been clear coated. So if you follow the directions, you're just going to base coat it black. You're going to mix this up with 1 pint of clear coat, not clear base coat. You're going to want to use clear coat. Clear base coat puts on too much of a texture when you spray. And I get asked that question all the time. You know, what do I mix this with? I recommend, just like the instructions recommend, that you mix this with clear coat. But that way it doesn't dry so fast and it lays out smoother. And it's not such a pain in the butt and leaves such a texture in order to sand out later. So use clear coat, just make sure you don't run it. So yeah, 3 coats of the metal flake, and then I did 3 to 4 coats of regular straight clear coat over the top, and then sanded this with 600 grit with a DA sander. So that's where this fender's at right now. So like I said, we're just gonna be taping it out in this live, and then maybe after lunch I'll do another live to where I'll show you how I mix the candies and airbrush the candies on. So if you want, stick around later for that, but for now we're just gonna go ahead and lay that out. So I have just regular 3M 1/8 inch tape, and that's what I'm going to create a center line with. I use this tape because it's cheaper and it doesn't give you as nice of an edge, so I don't paint with it. I only paint with the limeline, but I do use this as kind of like a guide. So I do have a seat hole mount, or some kind of a hole here in the fender where I'm able to gauge the center line. Let me get back here so I can make sure this is right. I'm gonna get a little bit better look at this, make sure I get it dead center. All right, that looks good. So that's all I really need that tape for. I'm gonna move on to using the 1/8 inch limeline, which is a vinyl tape, cut really sharp, so it's gonna leave a super sharp line when we go to paint it. So now I gotta ask myself, well, what am I gonna tape out on this thing? Like, I mean, where do I start? You know, there's my center line. So what I'll do is I'll bring the tank back over here. And then, as you can see, so my center line, so this is going to be up here. So I'm just going to match what I have going on the top of the tank. So So I'm not going to really measure anything out. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. You could measure it out. You could measure out the distance of this. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to just kind of eyeball it. So I think I'll start right here with this line right here. So using that center mark as a guide, I'm kind of eyeballing it like maybe an inch or 3/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to dive it into the center like I did right there. I actually think I might go just a little bit bigger on that. Pull that off and try one more time. I'm going to eyeball like 1.5 inches. And then just choose a spot to where it dives into the center. And just by eyeballing it, once again, I'm going to match this other side. I'm just looking at the distance in between the tape and the center line that I laid out. Right there is where I made the bend. Careful not to pull the tape too hard to where it stretches it. So okay, now I kind of step back and look. Hopefully y'all can see this. Looks like you can. If this is blurry right now, it's because I'm doing this live. Once this this will be rebroadcasted, so you can go back and watch this again, and it'll actually upload in HD. So if you can't see now, you'll see later. But yeah, I'm just looking at the negative space right here and right here when I lay that tape across. And then just looking at the spots where I took that turn. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that center line. I don't think I'm going to be needing it. Am I going to need this one? I'm going to need this one. I'm going to leave it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and match up what I have here. I just kind of came off of that center line on each side about, I don't know, 1/2 inch or so. Doesn't need to be exact. It needs to be exact on here, but I mean, if it's a little thinner, the fender's a little thinner, so than what the tank is, you wouldn't really worry about it too much. And once again, I'm just looking at the negative space right there. So I see where this point is. That's what I'm trying to match up on this side. See how that makes like just that shape. Without that center line, it's totally hard to tell. Step back and make sure it looks okay. I'll pull that center line off. I don't think I need that now. Okay, that looks good so far. So that's what we got right there. We see our next line, so I'm not worried about any of the 16th inch. I'm just laying out 1/8 inch to start. 16th inch, I always use that to kind of taper out the edge. It kind of gives the edge a finished look. See, like right here where it kind of rolls around where that is a point. This rolls around and makes just a nice smooth look. And I'll show you that later when I lay that down, but let's keep going with the 1/8 inch here. Looks like it's this line right here, and then it kind of use off. So I might do that. I can do that, or I can just run it off the edge. So I'm just gonna try it both ways, see what looks good. But I'm gonna aim for this thickness right here, which is about 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, that looks good. So I could roll this off into there. So I'm just gonna lay this on top so I can kind of get an idea of what this would look like. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. I might try again once I get this line. Let's see what's up. A lot of time it's experimenting on what looks good. Lay some tape down, see what looks good. If it flows nice with the part, just stick with it. Like I said, on this one, the tank's already done, so I'm just matching up to what I kind of already came up with. Here we go, that looks good. So let's just see what this, excuse me, whoa. Okay, I think I'm done. All right, let's do this. Let's see, do I like that? Let me step back and look. No, I don't like that. I like it to go off the edge of the fender. Sometimes I like it to be rounded off, but no, don't like it. I like it just going straight off the fender. All right, next. So we have this done right here. I'm gonna do another line. About, let's see, blue. Yeah, so this is gonna be about an inch. A little more than an inch actually. So I'm gonna lay that out. Here we go, looks great. I'm gonna put this off to the side real quick. Let's see, let me get a better view with this. try that again. Remember not to pull on your tape too hard. If you're not very good at judging the distance, then you could lay out a piece of tape as a guide, like 3/4 inch tape. All right, got that. It's looking good so far. Let's see what we got left here. So let's see, we got orange, blue, here's the black with the pearl. Then we're gonna go back to the orange. And then to our blue, okay. Easy enough. So judging by that, this is about 3/4 of an inch again. It's kind of what I usually do when I space them out. It's kind of what my eye can see, I guess, the best is 3/4. All right. And then the rest will actually fade off blue is what will happen here, and then I'll have a black fade off of the edge. And I'll show you, like I said, I'll show you that later today. I think we got one more to do here. That. Oh no, we got it. Let me step back and make sure that looks okay. Yep, that looks good. All right, so I'm gonna move on to the Limeline 16th inch. I'm going to space this out about 1/8 of an inch away. I usually only use it on one side of the line. It all kind of depends on what your personal preference is, and I always like to have it up next to at least one side of the 1/8 inch. You see that right there? So instead of coming in straight and cutting that, I made that kind of a rounded curve. Gives it a nice flow. So just little things like that. Go ahead and do this other side. So I'm doing the same thing to the right side of this fender as I'm doing to the left side. So it's all, I don't know the term, asymmetrical, I guess. I'm just a painter. I don't know. The same on both sides. I'm going to start with the next stripe. And once again, just staying an 1/8 inch away from the about an 1/8 or 16th inch away. Usually I try to keep it around an 1/8 inch. Got that one. All right, where are we at here? Right here. Same thing on this side. Like I said, just making sure that at least every 1/8 inch tape line has at least one side paired out with the 16th inch. You don't have to do that, but that's just, I feel like over the years that's how I've done it, and it's always looked good. All right, that's it. We got it. Just gonna push these down up underneath. And there it is. Hope you guys can see it. All right. Like I said, this will upload in HD in about an hour after this is over. You can rewatch it if you can't see anything. Any questions I can answer? I appreciate you guys watching from Russia. Blew my speakers. Sorry about sneezing. Yeah, so I'll be back in an hour or so. I'm going to take lunch, get a nice coffee, and I will show you how I mix the candy right here. Mix the candy, put in the airbrush, reduce it, spray it down, pull the tape, we're going to do all that in about an hour or so. So watch out for the link. I'll post it, and we'll see you guys in a little bit. Thanks for being here.